Let's get learning with Santino.
Hi everyone, I'm Santino, and today we are learning to organize a collection of items into a data display. Get ready to count along as we arrange a collection of colorful buttons. So, let's get learning! Today, I have this collection of buttons here. Have a look. What colors can you see? Red, orange, yellow, pink, blue, and green. It looks like there are more of some colors and less of others. You might remember that we counted these buttons when we were learning about tally marks. You could always go back and watch that. But here is our tally chart that we made to record the number of each colored button. When we collect information and record it, we call this data. So here is the data of the colored buttons in my collection. I think we could find a way to show this data in another way. Just like we can represent numbers in different ways, we can represent data in different ways too. Let's have another look at the buttons. First of all, seeing as we are looking at the colors, let's sort these buttons into their colors. So now we have our tally marks on a table and we have sorted our buttons by their color. Can you think of a way that we could arrange these buttons in a clear way? How could we organize these groups of buttons in a way that makes it easy to see how many of each color just by looking? You could pause it here to share your thinking with a friend. How would you arrange these buttons so it's easier to see how many of each? I'm sure you've come up with some great ideas. Let's have a look now. You might have thought about lining up the buttons end to end to make lines of each color. This looks great, but let's have a closer look. What do you notice about the size of each button? Are they all the same? Some are smaller and some are larger. Imagine that there were 7 small yellow buttons and 5 big pink buttons. Which color seems to have more? Why might this be a problem when showing the information like this? Someone might look at these 2 lines and think that there are more pink buttons because the pink line was longer. But actually we know that there are more yellow buttons. The line just looks shorter because the buttons are smaller. So what could we do to make this data clearer for someone looking at it? Let's have a think. Here is some special paper I'd like to show you. It has lines going up and down and lines going across. It's called grid paper, and the lines will help us to line up our items neatly. Watch as I place 1 blue button in each square. 1, 2, 3. Now I'll move the pink buttons onto the grid. I'll start the pink line at the same point as the blue line. This will make it clearer which has more and which has less. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice how when we put 1 object in each square, we can easily compare quantities? Just like when we compare length, it's important that we start each color line at the same point. That way, it's very clear which has more and which has less. Okay, let's keep going. Time for the yellow buttons. And the orange button, the red buttons, and finally the green buttons. And that's all of the buttons. Time to add my title, Santino's Coloured Buttons. And down here, I'll label the colours. Blue, pink, yellow, orange, red, and green. And we're done! We've now recorded the same data about our coloured buttons in two different ways, with tally marks and on a graph. Now let's compare these two ways to show the data. What do you notice? Both are showing the same information, but does one way make it easier to understand the information? Which way gives you a clearer idea about the colours? I wonder what you've been thinking while you've been comparing. Now, tally marks can be a great way to collect information, but were the tallies the clearer way to show the information? If I ask you which colour has the most, which way would help you see this the fastest? This display gives us the information straight away because we can see this long line of green buttons. So it's very clear which line has the most. As you can see, the way we display information is very important, and graphs are a useful way to be able to show our information clearly. Let's have another look at the graph. We can see that the green buttons have the most. Now, which colour has the least? Did you find the shortest line straight away? Yes, the very short line with one orange button. Now have a look at the red buttons. Which colour has one more than the red buttons? Have you found the line with one more? Let's see. The yellow buttons have one more. Now have a look at the blue buttons. Which colour has two more than the blue buttons? Can you see it? Let's check. 1, 2. The pink buttons have two more than the blue. Well, thanks for joining me today as we made a data display for my coloured buttons. I wonder what you could make a data display with. You could collect some objects or some toys, sort them by colour, size, shape, and then place them onto some grid paper to make a graph, just like mine. Enjoy displaying data today, everyone. Happy learning and see you next time. Be sure to like and subscribe. There's lots more to see. Come back again soon for more learning with me.